Hello, future chemists. Welcome to an exciting journey through chemical bonding and molecular structure. Today, we are diving deep into resonance, a concept that reveals the hidden complexities behind seemingly simple molecules. We'll explore why some molecules need more than one picture to describe them and how this split personality leads to incredible stability. Get ready to unlock the secrets of molecular structures, from easy basics to competitive level insights, as we build your foundation for GME. Ready to uncover how molecules sometimes have a secret identity? Let's start with the basics of resonance. Imagine trying to describe a person with just one photo. Sometimes it's not enough to capture their true essence, right? Molecules are similar. Resonance helps us understand situations where a single Lewis structure falls short. It's a way of representing a molecule using several contributing structures, also known as resonance structures or canonical forms. These structures are purely hypothetical, they don't exist on their own. Instead, they blend together to form the molecule's true identity, which we call the resonance hybrid. This hybrid is far more stable than any single contributing structure. Think of it as a molecular superpower. So, if resonance structures are just hypothetical, what's the real deal? That's where the resonance hybrid comes in. It's the actual structure of the molecule, an average of all valid contributing forms, and it possesses enhanced stability. The crucial rule is that only electrons, specifically pi electrons or lone pairs, are allowed to move. The atoms themselves stay fixed in their positions. We use a special double-headed arrow to show that structures are resonance forms. Take the carbonate ion, Co superscript 2, for example. All its CO bond lengths are identical, a perfect average between single and double bonds, which simple Lewis structures can't explain alone. For resonance to occur, a molecule needs a conjugated system. Think alternating single and multiple bonds or a lone pair next to a multiple bond. Now that we've grasped the fundamentals of resonance, it's time to test your understanding. Here are 3 practice questions to help solidify your knowledge. Take your time, draw out the structures if needed, and apply the concepts we've just discussed. Good luck! Let's deepen our understanding of resonance. Why is this concept so crucial in chemistry? Resonance isn't just a theoretical concept, it's fundamental to understanding molecular behavior. Firstly, it explains the enhanced stability of many molecules. By delocalizing electron density over multiple atoms, the molecule's energy is significantly lowered. Secondly, it clarifies why bond lengths in certain molecules are intermediate and equalized, unlike what single Lewis structures might suggest. For instance, in benzene, all carbon-carbon bonds are identical, a perfect blend of single and double bonds. Thirdly, resonance helps distribute formal charges, preventing high concentrations of charge in one area, which further stabilize the molecule. This delocalization also impacts a molecule's reactivity, making certain sites more or less reactive. Finally, the concept of resonance energy quantifies this extra stability gained from delocalization, a key indicator of a molecule's inherent strength. Drawing correct resonance structures is a skill that requires adherence to specific rules. First and foremost, remember that only electrons move. The positions of the atomic nuclei must remain fixed. Second, every resonance structure you draw must have the same total number of electrons, including paired and unpaired ones. Each structure must also be a valid Lewis structure, respecting the octet rule for second-period elements. We use curved arrows to precisely show the movement of electron pairs. When drawing, aim for structures that minimize charge separation, as these are generally more stable and contribute more to the overall hybrid. And always prioritize structures where all atoms, especially carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, have complete octets. Following these rules ensures you depict chemically sensible contributing forms. Not all resonance structures are created equal, some contribute more significantly to the resonance hybrid than others. We compare their stability based on several factors. Structures with more covalent bonds are inherently more stable. Next, look for minimal charge separation. The less positive and negative charges are spread apart, the better. If charges are unavoidable, place negative charges on more electronegative atoms, like oxygen, and positive charges on less electronegative ones, like carbon. Avoid placing like charges on adjacent atoms, as this leads to extreme instability. For example, in a carbonyl group, the structure with a positive charge on carbon and a negative charge on oxygen is a significant contributor, even with charge separation, because oxygen can accommodate the negative charge better. These guidelines help us determine the relative importance of each canonical form. You've now explored the essential rules and significance of resonance. It's time to put your knowledge to the test with these 5 challenging practice questions. Focus on applying the rules for drawing resonance structures and comparing their stability. Think about the implications of resonance for molecular properties. Pause the video, work through them, and reinforce your understanding. Ready to delve deeper? Let's explore the quantitative aspects and theoretical underpinnings of resonance. Resonance allows us to quantify bond characteristics that a single Lewis structure cannot. For any bond involved in resonance, we can calculate its bond order by averaging the number of bonds between those two atoms across all valid resonance structures. This average bond order directly correlates with bond length. A higher bond order means a shorter and stronger bond. For instance, in the carbonate ion, each CO bond has an average bond order of about 1.33, explaining why all 3 bonds are identical and intermediate in length between single and double bonds. Resonance also helps us understand partial charges, which are average formal charges distributed across atoms. Experimental techniques like X-ray crystallography provide concrete evidence, confirming these equalized bond lengths in resonance systems, validating the resonance model. It's crucial not to confuse resonance with tautomerism, as they represent distinct chemical phenomena. Resonance involves only the shifting of electrons, specifically pi electrons or lone pairs, while the atomic nuclei remain fixed in their positions. Resonance structures are hypothetical representations of a single, real molecule. Tautomerism, on the other hand, involves the actual migration of an atom, typically a hydrogen atom, along with a rearrangement of bonds, leading to different structural isomers. These tautomers are real, distinct molecules that exist in a dynamic equilibrium with each other. Resonance structures are typically very close in energy, whereas tautomers often have significant energy differences. A classic example of tautomerism is the ketoenol equilibrium, where a hydrogen atom moves between a carbon and an oxygen atom, fundamentally changing the connectivity. While valence bond theory introduces resonance as a conceptual tool to explain electron delocalization, molecular orbital theory provides a more fundamental and quantitative perspective. In VBT, resonance structures are used to compensate for the theory's limitation in describing delocalized electrons. However, MOT inherently accounts for delocalization. In conjugated systems, the sideways overlap of p orbitals forms continuous, delocalized molecular orbitals that span across multiple atoms. Electrons in these delocalized PIMOs are not confined to individual bonds but are spread over the entire system. This delocalization naturally leads to lower energy and increased stability, which VBT explains through the concept of resonance energy. Essentially, MOT offers a more accurate and predictive model for electron distribution, while VBT's resonance concept serves as a valuable, albeit less fundamental, explanatory framework. You've now navigated the complexities of quantitative resonance, its distinction from tautomerism, and its connection to molecular orbital theory. These concepts are vital for a deeper understanding of chemical bonding. Here are 7 practice questions to challenge your analytical skills and reinforce your learning. Work through them carefully, applying the principles we've just discussed. This is crucial for your GMAIN preparation. Alright, future engineers and advanced chemists. Prepare to push the boundaries of your understanding. We are about to explore the most intricate aspects of resonance. When evaluating resonance structures, especially for complex molecules, we need to apply a more nuanced set of rules to determine their relative contributions. The absolute priority is given to structures where all atoms, particularly those from the second period like carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, satisfy the octet rule. This often overrides the desire to avoid charge separation. Among structures that satisfy the octet rule, those with minimal charge separation are more stable. If charges are present, negative charges should ideally reside on more electronegative atoms, and positive charges on less electronegative ones. Structures with a greater number of covalent bonds are also generally more stable. Critically, avoid drawing structures with adjacent atoms bearing like charges, as these are highly unstable and contribute negligibly. Remember, while formal charges are a guide, the true electron distribution is a continuous spectrum, better visualized through advanced computational methods like electrostatic potential maps. The way conjugation occurs in a molecule significantly impacts its stability and properties. Extended conjugation refers to a continuous chain of alternating single and multiple bonds, allowing for extensive electron delocalization across the entire system. This leads to substantial resonance stabilization and often results in lower energy absorption in UV-vis spectroscopy. In contrast, cross-conjugation occurs when a conjugated segment is effectively interrupted, or when a central pi bond is conjugated with 2 other pi bonds, preventing direct conjugation between the latter two. This splitting of the delocalization pathway generally results in less effective electron delocalization and consequently less resonance stabilization compared to a purely extended system. For example, butadiene is an extended conjugated system, while benzophenone, where the carbonyl group is conjugated with both phenyl rings but the rings aren't directly conjugated with each other, exemplifies cross-conjugation. Understanding this distinction is crucial for predicting molecular properties and reactivity. The actual geometry of a molecule plays a critical role in determining the effectiveness of resonance. This is known as a stereoelectronic effect. For p orbitals to effectively overlap and allow for electron delocalization, the conjugated system must be planar or nearly planar. Any deviation from planarity, often caused by bulky substituents creating steric hindrance, can disrupt this overlap. This phenomenon is termed steric inhibition of resonance, or SIR. When parts of the molecule are forced out of coplanarity, the p orbitals can no longer align perfectly, reducing or even preventing resonance. Conformational changes, such as rotation around single bonds, can also alter p orbital alignment and thus the extent of resonance. Furthermore, the hybridization of atoms involved must be appropriate to provide available p orbitals for conjugation. For instance, in polycyclic systems, resonance involving bridgehead atoms is often restricted due to inherent geometric constraints that prevent planarity, a concept encapsulated by Brett's rule. These subtle geometric factors are paramount in dictating a molecule's true electronic structure and reactivity. Resonance is particularly prevalent and significant in heterocyclic compounds, cyclic structures containing atoms other than carbon in the ring, such as nitrogen, oxygen, or sulfur. Many of these heterocycles, like pyrrole, furan, and thiophene, exhibit aromaticity, a special type of stability derived from resonance. In these aromatic heterocycles, a lone pair of electrons from the heteroatom participates in the ring's pi-electron system, contributing to a delocalized 4n+2 pi-electron count, satisfying Huckel's rule. This delocalization makes the ring electron-rich and influences its reactivity, often favoring electrophilic substitution. Interestingly, in pyridine, The nitrogen's lone pair is in an sp superscript 2 orbital and does not participate in the aromatic system, making pyridine basic and its nitrogen a site for protonation, unlike pyrrole. Understanding resonance in these systems is vital for predicting their chemical behavior, from their acidity-basicity to their preferred reaction pathways, and extends to complex fused heterocyclic systems that form the backbone of many pharmaceuticals and natural products. You've now explored the pinnacle of resonance theory, from advanced rules and conjugation types to stereoelectronic effects and its role in complex heterocycles. These are the concepts that truly set apart top-tier understanding. Now, challenge yourself with the first 5 of 10 demanding questions. Apply every principle we've discussed, think critically, and push your analytical boundaries. Good luck! Excellent work on the first set. Now, let's tackle the remaining 5 questions. These problems are designed to test your comprehensive understanding and application of resonance in diverse chemical scenarios, including reactivity, spectroscopy, and physical properties. This is where you truly consolidate your knowledge for competitive exams like GMAT. Keep up the focus and strive for precision in your answers. Congratulations on completing this in-depth exploration of resonance. From the basic definitions to its advanced applications and theoretical connections, you've gained a comprehensive understanding of this crucial concept in chemistry. To continue your learning journey and access more such detailed educational content for GMAT, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and more insightful lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep excelling.